Right, so my third video from RHS Tatton is just to look at some of these kind of regional gardens, small regional gardens and charitable gardens, etc. around this kind of lawn bit in the centre of the show. So yeah, again, if you want to pause that to read it.
They grow. And here we are like 2 months later and it's just dense.
I'm impressed with the planting on this. I like to see lots and lots of dense planting. Plants growing into each other, very little soil to show. Yeah, not a lot in flower, but then again it's more of a tropical garden, so I'm not going to see that, whereas this is more this is more my cup of tea. Lots in flower in July, that's what you want. In an English garden, you have to have lots of flowering plants in July. Absolutely stunning. Loads of bees on this, and salvias there. Sedums to come later on, foxgloves. Absolutely stunning. And a nice copper bath. So BBC Radio Lancashire, Be Happy Garden. Yep. Well done, BBC Radio Lancashire. BBC Radio Merseyside, Our City, My City, Our Music. Of course, they will have to have a Beatles reference, which is fine. Abbey Road, NW8. Yeah, Sergeant Pepper, isn't it? That instrument there. And again, lots of bee-friendly plants. Look at the bees on that. Never seen sunflowers that short. It's amazing. Grass looks good. It's well trimmed. Surprisingly nice little carpet, a nice foil to the planting. Nice espalier. Pear, is it? Is it a pear or apple there? I think it's an apple. Yeah, like that. But my favourite one so far is the Lancashire one. And then what's this one? Right, Legacy Garden. Cancer research. It's quite a big one. Look at that stunning, is that a maple of some kind? Its leaves are looking a little bit, it's like it's turning before time, but stunning tree. Love this copper beech hedge. It's very modern. I'm not a huge fan of modern, but as I've said before with topiary, if you're going to do something, do it well. And again, you've got a sedum roof there. It looks well done. The materials are quality. Planting superb. Lots of plants, lots of density there. Not much soil to see. Loving the hydrangeas. The agapanthus is about to come out again. Salvias, can't go wrong with salvias and geraniums. Achillea. Lots of bees buzzing round, and then that shady bit in the middle, you've got a completely different contrast there. That's fantastic. Another sedum roof at the other side. So yeah, I like that, even though it's kind of modernism, it's not to my taste. Right. Tatton Garden, breathe easy. Yeah, this is more kind of prairie planting thing with the bean up an RHS, covered in bees, absolutely covered in bees. Some nice silver birch. But not a huge amount to keep me interested. Probably a little bit too much empty space, not enough planting. If the planting area was a bit bigger, it would probably be in better proportion with the space there, in my opinion. Again, the planting's nice and dense. You can imagine in a year or two's time, if this was to stay like this, all these plants would be growing into each other, and certainly some would need either taking out or putting back, like the rosemary. And there is a bit of disjointedness between that real kind of very colourful, on the flight path of Manchester Airport here, between that colourful bed over there and then this, which is much more muted, and there's not a lot in flower. There's still a lot to flower here. That greenhouse there, it's fantastic. It's beautiful. That's about the size of my backyard. So what's this one? Garden with a view. Oh, I'm all for gardens with views. Can't beat a garden with a view. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh, absolutely. That is the best garden so far from my perspective. Absolutely stunning. That planting is just amazing. Look at that, everything's in flower pretty much. Gravel looks good. Landscaping's nice. But the landscaping and the planting seems to be in better proportion. One doesn't dominate the other. Delphiniums, fantastic. There's just so many different plants, so many different textures, different coloured foliage as well as flowers. It's just I could stand here and look at this for literally hours. Whereas other gardens, you can kind of take it all in pretty quick and move on. This, I just want to, I mean, you can't go in, but I just want to kind of go in there and just have a look at absolutely everything. Absolutely beautiful. We've got a Russ there and a Gladitzia there for some autumn colour. Viburnum at the back. Lots of Achillea. Again, Verbena bonariensis, but not overdone. You know, you've got nothing's overdone. Everything nothing dominates. Everything sits so comfortably within its area. Geranium over there, then you've got some Nepeta, you've got your foxgloves. Again, they don't dominate, so then you've got your delphiniums. Is it Bernardia there, I think? Agapanthus, salvias. Just absolutely stunning. Attention to detail with these larger rocks put in there just to accentuate the kind of edges of the path where you're to go. Absolutely perfect for me, that. Superb. And then let's go over to this one. So that was definitely my favourite, followed by the Lancashire one. Here we're going back to a bit more modern again. So again, it's well done. Again, the materials look quality. But sometimes in these gardens, the planting almost looks contrived. It's not a garden about plants. The plants are there just to support the sculpture. And that's not my idea of a garden. That I would class that more of a piece of landscape architecture than a garden. If the plants are there to support the structure of the garden, then it's a piece of landscape architecture. If the garden is there to show off the plants, then it's a garden. If that makes sense. I don't know if that does make sense, but that's how I tend to look at it. So you just get the feeling that everything's been really placed very accurately, and it's very well done. Best Tatton Garden, very well done and very well planted. But again, for me, maybe the big open area there is too much. I would maybe have preferred to see that pond there come a little bit more forward, maybe it'll be a little bit smaller, and the planting to go up into that corner a little bit more, just so that there's a better ratio of planting to landscaping. And also maybe the gravel as well. The gravel looks a little bit bitty. It doesn't fit in with this kind of minimalist, modernist effect almost. It's almost like you've got these lovely, solid-looking flagstones, and then you've got the gravel, which looks like it's just come off of a building site. Might sound like I'm being a bit ultra-critical, but it's just the way I kind of look at things. And again, there's a kind of disconnect between this part and the other kind of three planters, and maybe that's actually meant to be like that. But in those two gardens, I lose interest pretty quick because there's not a lot to look at there. This, which is more naturalistic and there's more in flower, there's bees buzzing around, which you don't see as much over there, or you don't really see at all over there. Again, just adds life to the garden. That if this was more like those two borders over there, you wouldn't have that life here. So yeah, I understand why it's got best in show, but compared to the other garden that I've just looked at, no, it doesn't compare as far as I'm concerned. I love these grasses though. That grass there is absolutely stunning. And I love these little messages on this tree. So yeah, let's come right there. So again, this path for me is just a little bit too wide. You know, if you just had the borders just come in another 6 inches that side, 6 inches that side, then again, for my eye, it would be better proportion like that. There is too much open waste space there. But again, you can, I mean, you could tweak that, so you could recreate this and then just try doing something along the lines of what I've said, and then compare it to this garden and see if it has improved in some way. So yeah, I think that's it now. I don't think there's any more. Because then I'm back round to the Lancashire garden. So from a very busy and a very hot Tatton, I will say bye for now. I hope you've enjoyed these few videos. Bye for now.